Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Genoa City was never quiet for long, but the silence inside the Newman ranch that morning felt almost predatory. Kane Ashby stood in the center of Victor Newman's living room like a man awaiting execution. His head still throbbed faintly from the chloroform attack, one he never saw coming, one he should have anticipated. He had played a dangerous game, aligning himself with Victor in a fake kidnapping scheme meant to pressure Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers. And now he had nothing. Victor Newman didn't sit, he loomed. Kane cleared his throat, trying to ignore the dizziness creeping up his spine. Victor, we had a deal. Victor's eyes turned glacial. You had control of Newman Enterprises, he corrected evenly. You had leverage, now you have neither. Kane swallowed. Phyllis had outplayed him. While he lay unconscious, she'd transferred assets, shifted power, and seized control. Newman Enterprises was no longer a bargaining chip in his hand. Billy had Chancellor. Sally was tangled in the fallout, and Victor was furious. This isn't on me, Kane argued. Your issue is with Phyllis and Billy, they're the ones in charge now. Victor stepped closer, voice low and lethal. You allowed it to happen. The words hit like a slap. Kane's jaw tightened. You wanted this plan, the fake kidnapping, the pressure campaign. Lily agreed to it. At Lily's name, something dark flickered in Victor's eyes. Lily Winters had agreed to help orchestrate Victor's calculated scheme, believing it would corner Billy and Phyllis, not implode in their faces. But she wasn't aware of everything that had unfolded since Kane was knocked out cold. She didn't know Phyllis had flipped the board entirely. Victor's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. You are responsible for losing control, and you will fix it. Kane felt the air leave his lungs. And if I can't? Victor didn't hesitate, then you will not see Lily or the twins. The threat wasn't shouted, it didn't need to be. Kane's stomach twisted. Lily, Maddie, Charlie, they were his anchor even when his marriage to Lily had fractured beyond repair. The idea of being cut off from them wasn't just painful, it was suffocating. You're using my family as leverage, Kane asked hoarsely. Victor's stare hardened. You made this mess, clean it up. For the first time since waking up from the chloroform haze, Kane felt true fear. Not for his business reputation, not for his pride. For his family. And somewhere across town, Lily was about to learn just how precarious everything had become. At Chancellor Winters, Lily paced her office floor. Her phone buzzed with unanswered messages. Something was wrong, she could feel it. The plan had been simple: apply pressure, manipulate the power structure, force Billy into a corner. She agreed because she believed she was protecting her company and her children's future. But then she'd heard whispers. Kane unconscious. Phyllis in control. Victor furious. When her office door opened, she expected Devon. Instead, it was Victor. Her heart skipped. What happened? Lily demanded. Victor studied her carefully. Kane failed. The words sliced. Failed how? He allowed Phyllis to seize control while he was incapacitated. Lily's face paled. Incapacitated. Chloroformed, Victor said bluntly. Lily's breath caught. She hadn't known. No one had told her. He didn't know, she whispered defensively, if he was unconscious. Victor cut her off. It was his responsibility to anticipate retaliation. The businessman in Victor spoke with ruthless clarity, but Lily wasn't thinking like a CEO. She was thinking like a woman who had once loved Kane. Is he okay? She asked quietly. Victor paused, then answered evenly, physically. That wasn't what she meant. Lily turned away, anger and guilt colliding inside her. She had agreed to Victor's plan. She had allowed Kane to risk everything, and now he was paying for it. And what happens now? She asked. Victor's voice was iron. Now he earns his redemption. Lily's eyes flashed. By doing what? Regaining control. And if he did? Victor didn't need to answer. Lily understood. Meanwhile, at Newman Media, Sally Spectra stood across from Billy Abbott with tears she refused to let fall. Billy was still riding the adrenaline high of the corporate heist. He told himself this was survival, strategy, payback. But Sally wasn't buying it. You stole Newman Media, she said flatly. Billy ran a hand through his hair. We reclaimed powers. By becoming exactly like them, Sally shot back. He winced. Sally's voice trembled, but her resolve didn't. I can't do this anymore, Billy. He froze. What are you saying? I'm saying I don't recognize you, I don't recognize us. The words echoed in the sterile office. Billy tried to reach for her hand, but she stepped back. You told me once you didn't know if you could keep living like this, she reminded him. Schemes, revenge, obsession with Victor. Billy's jaw clenched. This is about protecting what's ours. No, Sally said softly, this is about you proving something. Silence stretched between them. Her voice broke slightly as she continued. We see the world differently, Billy. You think chaos is strategy, I think it's destruction. He felt it then, the shift. She wasn't just angry. She was done. I can't be with someone who thrives on this, Sally admitted, and I can't pretend I'm okay with it. Billy's face fell. You're walking away. I think we already have, she whispered. The crushing blow landed. Billy Abbott, who had just seized an empire, was losing the woman he loved. And he knew he deserved it. Across town at Crimson Lights, Nick Newman stared at the small bag in his hand. The fentanyl was nearly gone. His heart pounded, not from the drug, but from the emptiness creeping in as it depleted. He hated that he needed it, hated that he had let himself spiral this far. Footsteps approached. He shoved the bag into his coat just as Sharon Newman stepped up to the counter. Hey, she greeted gently. Nick forced a smile. But Sharon had known him too long. She saw the tension in his shoulders, the flicker of panic in his eyes. What's going on, she asked. Oh, nothing. She tilted her head, Nick. He exhaled, just tired. Sharon wasn't convinced. You've been distant, secretive. His pulse spiked. She stepped closer. What are you keeping from me? For a moment, he almost told her. Almost. But fear won. Nothing, he insisted, forcing steadiness into his voice. Sharon's eyes searched his face. Nick chose the lie. And in doing so, he set himself on a path that would inevitably backfire. Because as soon as he left Crimson Lights, he knew exactly what he was going to do. Find more. The fallout began quickly. Billy sat alone in his office long after Sally left. Her words replayed like a broken record. You thrive on chaos. Was she right? He told himself he was fighting for independence from Victor's shadow, from manipulation, but maybe somewhere along the line it had become about ego. And now he was alone with the empire he'd helped seize. Meanwhile, Kane stood outside Lily's door. He hesitated before knocking. When she opened it, her eyes were red, not from crying but from stress. You should have told me, she said immediately. I told you what? That you were attacked, that you were chloroformed. Kane exhaled. I didn't want you dragged deeper into this. I already am, Lily replied. They stared at each other, history thick in the air. I lost control, Kane admitted quietly. Lily crossed her arms. Victor says it's your responsibility to fix it. A bitter laugh escaped him. Of course he does. And if you do? Kane's voice faltered. He implied I won't see you or the twins. Lily's composure cracked. He wouldn't. He would, Kane said gently. Fear passed between them. For the first time, this wasn't about corporate power, it was about family. I'll fix it, Kane promised. Lily studied him. At what cost? He didn't answer. Because they both knew the cost might be everything. Nick found his dealer before nightfall. The exchange was quick, quiet. But as he walked away with a fresh stash, dread settled in. He told himself it was temporary, just until things stabilized, just until he felt normal again. He didn't see the car watching from across the street. And he didn't know that secrets in Genoa City never stayed buried. Victor stood at the ranch window, surveying his domain. Kane was scrambling, Billy was fractured, Sally had stepped away, Lily was uncertain, Nick was unraveling. Control was shifting again. And Victor Newman intended to reclaim it. One move at a time. Because in Genoa City, power never rested. It simply changed hands. And the war was far from over.